I mean, we've had 4 top 10 teams lose in college football. I ended up on Squidtard's live stream, which is pretty cool. And this has just been insane, man. And we definitely need to talk about it. So, if you're watching this as an actual video, yeah, thanks for watching. You can hit that big ol' subscribe button. I'll give some people some time to get into the stream. I expect 19 Savage first in the stream. Hello, John Hughes also coming in. What's up, my man? The Finisher says go Tigers. And LSU got an enormous win. And Iowa State, too. This has been crazy. 4 top 10 teams have lost. 4 of them. How? How do 4 top 10 teams lose? That's almost half the top 10. I mean, Georgia lost a tough game to LSU. That was a good game. But West Virginia losing to Iowa State, Penn State losing to my Michigan State Spartans, what was the other one? Washington losing to Oregon? Yeah, what do you think Texas will be ranked? We will talk about Texas because I actually have something really important to say about them. I think this was the best case scenario for them. And LSU won by 20, UCF national champions. 2019 SEC football too. Coming into the stream, what's up, my man? I expect Uncle Luke to be coming in here anytime soon. So, let's talk scores. I'm gonna go through each of the top 25 games and talk about them. So, just got here off of Comic Dude 45 stream. All right, okay. The top 25 games that happened today. Let's talk about each and every single one of them in a lot of detail. So, hey, Comic Dude 45 into the stream. Hello. LSU 6, Texas 7, Michigan 8, UCF 9. Michigan should not be 8. I'm telling you that right now. Michigan should not be 8. Who had Georgia played? Whoa. Okay, I don't know what that means. But yeah, let's get into this. I want to start with my Volunteers of Tennessee going on the road at Jordan-Hare Stadium and pulling off a win against Auburn. And my grandpa had just passed away last year on Thanksgiving. And he played football for Tennessee, and he was the biggest Vols fan of all time. I can guarantee you he is looking down at Jordan-Hare Stadium, and he is so proud of the way that this team has played. I can guarantee you that. This was a great win for Tennessee. They finally got a meaningful SEC win from this sorry team that I've been subjective to watch. But that was a great win. And as for Auburn, they are now 4-3. Comic Dude 45 coming off the greatest live stream I've seen all day. Yeah, I ended up on Squidtard's live stream. I actually called in and I got in on his live stream. I'm gonna post the live stream highlights I think tomorrow. But that was really cool calling in on Squidtard's live stream. But Auburn though, I mean, you got that tough loss to you had that tough loss to OSU. Okay. And then you go in and you lose to, what was it called? You lost to Mississippi State and Tennessee in back-to-back weeks. How does that happen? Miles Tabor says he's a huge Ducks fan. They had a big win against Washington. We'll talk about that. So yeah, Tennessee beating Auburn, that was good. Minnesota and Ohio State. I have a friend who's a really big Minnesota fan. And Minnesota actually held it close for a while. Me and Squidtard are working on audio for the Fifth Dimension. That's pretty cool. But Minnesota held it close for a while, and I think Ohio State has not been looking good against a lot of... Hey, TGTV Tank Mode, what's up, man? They have not been looking like a very good team. Against a lot of teams, they should beat pretty handily. They probably should have beaten Minnesota by 70. Indiana held it close. I mean, these are teams I think they should be beating pretty handily, and they're having troubles with. I think if you're a Buckeyes fan, you should be worried. I mean, honestly, they should have beaten Minnesota by I think a lot more. Another game is Florida and Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt was up 21-3, and I was actually rooting for them, and they decided to go and have probably the worst second half I've ever seen. Just kidding about that, but they went out and they played terrible. I mean, where's Uncle Luke? Hope he's not upset over the loss. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is kind of upset, but if you tell him to come to this stream, we'll cheer him up. But I don't know if you guys saw the almost fight with the head coaches from Florida and Vanderbilt. They almost fought. That was crazy. And that was a good win for Florida. I would say it's a struggle win, but they did get out of there. And Pitt, Ohio State will be fine. We will beat Michigan State by 30 plus. I'm sorry, you're not beating Michigan State by 30 plus. As much as I am a Michigan State fan, I even went to the Northwestern game, and that was terrible. But think about this as an Ohio State fan. You beat Penn State by 1, and Michigan State beat Penn State. Mitch the God Trubisky in the chat. What's my favorite basketball team? It's the sorry excuse of a basketball team. That is the Chicago Bulls. They're so bad. Notre Dame doesn't deserve to go to the playoffs. Oh yeah, SEC football too. Get your girlfriend in here. She seems like a pretty nice person. But oh yeah, if you didn't know, SEC football tube has a girlfriend. Oh my God, he's told the whole world. But Notre Dame, I think they haven't really looked that good. I mean, yeah, you beat Michigan, but Michigan's overrated. Yeah, you beat Stanford, but they're not ranked anymore. Do you have a girlfriend? Unfortunately not. The reason why is most girls don't like to date guys shorter than them. And I'm like 5 feet flat. So, yeah. But Notre Dame hasn't really impressed me that much. And they had to struggle against Pitt. Alright. And Texas beat Baylor. Which is, I'll tell you, this was the best. You're 6'3", SEC football tube. You are not 6'3". Anyway, Baylor and Texas. I'm like 5 feet flat, and it's terrible. But okay, not UCF, Texas and Baylor. This was the best case scenario for Texas. They had 4 teams ahead of them lose. Think about that. They'll jump ahead of Georgia. They'll jump ahead of West Virginia. They'll jump ahead of Washington, and they'll jump ahead of Penn State. They can be as high as 5. For a team that lost week 1 to Maryland and did not look good doing it, to all the way up to 5 in 6 weeks. That is amazing. And even though Baylor did give him a good run, I did think Baylor would give him a good game, since I think Texas might be looking ahead to the West Virginia game. They did give him a good game, but Texas did end up coming out with the win. Shout out 19 Savage, big Texas fan. You guys should all subscribe to him. We'll please SEC football too real quick, and we'll talk about the Gamecocks. Oh, wait. John Hughes says UCF beat Auburn. Auburn beat Alabama and Georgia. Okay. UCF beat Auburn. Auburn beat Alabama and Georgia. Georgia player Alabama in the national championship. All right. Yeah, I know. Good win. Okay. All right, let's go to Texas A&M, South Carolina. That was a good game. And I'll say, South Carolina did not look good in the first half, but they came firing back. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw that flea flicker play that they pulled off, but that was crazy. But Texas A&M did end up winning at the end. I am sorry, SEC football tube. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. Texas A&M is a pretty good team. They should have beaten Clemson, but they didn't. West Virginia, Washington, ON State, and the Bulldogs, UCF almost lost. Yeah, this was a crazy week. Okay, now let's talk about the really important games. We'll start with Michigan State beating Penn State. That was a great game. And I'll tell you, the guy that caught the game-winning touchdown, Felton Davis. Felton Davis is the best wide receiver in the Big Ten. And if you could name a better wide receiver, please tell me. But Felton Davis is the best wide receiver in the Big Ten. He had 2 touchdowns against Northwestern, the game I was at. He looked so good. And I think, but Penn State, how do you lose to Michigan State at home? How? How do you, how? I don't understand how you lose to a pretty bad Michigan State team at home, but that was a great win for Michigan State. We now officially own Penn State since we beat them, I think, last year too. All right. So, I think Penn State now with 2 losses has pretty much fallen out of the Big Ten championship discussion as well as the playoff discussion. I think they were pretty overranked at 8. And yeah, I'm a Bears, Cubs, and Bulls fan, yet I'm an Ohio State fan. I grew up watching Ohio State, Braxton Miller, Elliott, and Carlos Hyde. That's cool. How in the hell? The famous Uncle Lou quote. All right. UCF barely escaped Memphis. I just kind of wanted to touch on that real quick. Washington and Oregon. This was a great game. Overtime win for Oregon. I think Oregon is a major contender. They're not really a major contender, but I think they're the favorites in the Pac-12. I saw a thing. It was like things SEC fans say, and one of them was like, "You play in the Pac-10. You play in the Pac-12. You play in the Pac-14." But I think it's either the Pac-12 or the ACC. They both have been playing pretty badly lately. And are the Ducks back? I think they'll be back to a big bowl game this year, but I don't think they're back to the playoff, if that makes sense. But I think Oregon could get a big boost, possibly into the top 10, but I don't think maybe into the top 10. I don't think so, though. Clemson overrated just like last year. Yes, they are overrated. They should have lost to Texas A&M, and they should have lost to Syracuse. So, okay, hold on. SEC football tube saying something big. Comic Dude 45, you lose to Vanderbilt at home on homecoming. Vanderbilt hasn't won an SEC game on the road in 2 damn years. They have no offense, none, 0. Yeah, Vanderbilt, they almost beat Florida, but that Washington-Oregon game was a good game. And I think now with Washington losing, I think they're out of the playoff discussion and they're out of possibly Pac-12 championship discussion. And Justin Herbert has looked like the top NFL draft pick quarterback. I think he'll end up going to the Giants if the Giants want to pick him. But he looked pretty good in this game. They beat a pretty good Washington team. And Oregon might be the favorite for the Pac-12. And I think if Oregon can win out, they might have a chance to get into the college football playoff, but they have no more room for error. That's what Lou said. How and duh. Okay, now let's please the finisher, and we'll talk about LSU. LSU and Georgia. Now, the people's favorite was Georgia. I said LSU was going to win the SEC in an earlier video. I said that Georgia would win the game, but LSU would look very good in the game, and I said they would keep it close. I didn't know that Joe Burrow was going to turn into Tom Brady and that Nick Brossette was going to turn into Marshawn Lynch. I did not know that those 2 guys would show up in the way that they did. They dominated the game from start to finish. I mean, they straight up, they really did. Are you going to do a live reaction to the Bears game? I might. I'll see. If it's close in the final 2 minutes, I will. But, man, they dominated the game from start to finish. I mean, it could have been a lot more, too. I mean, I think they had to settle for about 5 or 6 field goals. Think if they turned all those into touchdowns. This could be way more than a 20-point lead. LSU looked, the way they played today, they're the best team in the country. And, I mean, it's just insane. John Hughes says Dwayne Haskins, front runner for Heisman. He put up 400 yards for the second straight game. But it's against Minnesota and Indiana. I don't see it. I think the Heisman favorite, in my opinion, has to be, I think it has to be Tua Tagovailoa, personally. But I think Tua may have broke his knee, and we'll get to that later. I don't know a lot about that. Savannah the Aggies girl, SEC Football Tube's girlfriend. Welcome to the stream. Wisconsin's overrated. Okay, hold on. Oh my God, chat. Quincy, with you being an MSU fan, what are your thoughts on Rutgers and Maryland being in the Big Ten? I'm not a huge fan. I think the Big Ten should have 10 teams, and I think the Big 12 and the Pac-12 should have 10 teams, 12 teams. It just makes sense. Where do you want to go to college? I still don't know where I want to go to college. They were ranked so high now, and now they suck. Yeah, Wisconsin lost to BYU, and Michigan is killing them. But back to LSU. The way LSU played today, there is no team better in the country. The problem is, can they do that every single week? If they can play this way for the rest of this season, there is no team better. But the problem is they have those games against, like, Florida where they don't play as well. So, yeah, Michigan just went final. So, I truly think, LOL, don't get, okay, TGTV tank mode, be quiet for a second. LSU still has a chance. Who else is an awesome freshman? Yeah, I'm a freshman too. But who else? I mean, I think they're better than Georgia. I think the Florida game was a fluke, honestly. And I think they'll have a very good chance to beat Alabama. So LSU could be back in that SEC championship discussion. I mean, honestly, I think they're a real contender. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. You guys better prove me right again. Please, LSU. I don't want to look like an idiot. If they beat Bama, they'll win the SEC. But here's the problem. Okay, TGTV take mode. I think I already know what the problem is. Who will play them in the SEC title? I think it'll probably be Georgia. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the SEC divisions are. It'll probably end up being either Florida or Georgia in the SEC title game. But I'm telling you, if they play the way they did against Georgia today, there is actually no team better. The problem is, can they replicate that against Alabama? And I truly think they can. They've beaten Georgia pretty handily. Because it's going to come down to Florida, Georgia, because I ain't giving Kentucky a shot. Kentucky has a shot. How about them Vols today, Savannah the Aggie girl? Yeah, my Tennessee Volunteers. They won their first meaningful SEC game in about 2 years. That is awesome. That is truly awesome. Okay, so I'm telling you, LSU may still have a chance. I think they may still have a chance to win the SEC. I don't want to get ahead of myself because I don't look dumb. Because I already said they were going to win the SEC once, and then they went out and lost to Florida. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Where will Oregon be ranked? I'm not quite sure. Hold on, TGTV tank mode. Let me mod you real quick. Okay, I added TGTV tank mode as a mod. Okay. All right. Texas A&M. Oh, we already talked about Texas A&M, South Carolina. I want to talk about Texas A&M real quick, just because SEC football team's girlfriends isn't here. I truly think Texas A&M's a good team, even though I think they've had some tough draws. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched the game against Clemson where the dude dove for the end zone and then the ball went out of the back of the end zone when it was like really close. I personally thought it went out on the 1 yard line, and I think Clemson dodged a freaking bullet there. And then they had a tough game against Alabama. But I'm telling you, even though Texas A&M's out of the playoff discussion, in my opinion, they might still have a chance to get into a major bowl game. I think the only way they can go is up. Do you really not know who Squid Tart is? If you don't know who Squid Tart is, you have to know who Squid Tart is. SEC Football Tube will tell you. Alright, let's keep going here. Iowa State and West Virginia. My dad actually picked Iowa State, and he seriously was right about that. I cannot believe that Iowa State won that game in the way that they did. Alright, hold on. TGTV Tank Mode has a question, and he claims it's a good one. But I cannot believe that West Virginia lost that badly. Will Grier was completely shut down. I mean, and he's been probably the Heisman favorite up to this point. But he did not look good in this game. So I don't really know what to think of West Virginia anymore. Are they a legit contender still? Or are they just going to be another team who plays a bunch of weak opponents and then they get... Here. Savannah, well, here's a great Tennessee YouTuber. Okay, he's talking about Squid Tart. Will UCF win undefeated again? No. I think they will lose to South Florida. I think there's no way UCF goes 2 undefeated seasons in a row. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. I'm sorry. I'm not too high on UCF. I was super high on UCF last year. I'm not too high on UCF this year. I think they will lose at least 1 game. West Virginia and Iowa State. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say anymore. West Virginia pretty much only put up 7 points worth of offense because they had 1 touchdown where it was like a blocked field goal and went the other way. But how do you only put up 7 points of offense to Iowa State? I mean, just how? I don't get it. And I think West Virginia will truly suffer in the rankings. I think out of all the teams that lost, out of all the top 10 teams that lost, I think West Virginia may have got it the worst. They may have seriously got it the worst. I mean, I don't see how you lose that bad to Iowa State. But credit to Iowa State. I mean, I know they upset Oklahoma last year, and now they have a big win this year. So that is truly great. I mean, after I'm done with talking about all these games, we'll do some rankings talk, and you guys can even give your rankings if you choose to do so. I still can't believe Tennessee won. That was incredible and shocking. You know it. Go Vols. Hey, guys, if this stream hits 10 likes, I will sing Rocky Top at the end of the stream. If this stream hits 10 likes, I will sing Rocky Top. Cal sucks, because besides Oregon, Washington, and Stanford, the Pac-12 is a trash can. Okay, Wisconsin and Michigan. I think Michigan is truly overrated. I truly think Wisconsin is overrated, and I think Michigan's overrated. Because, think about it. Michigan lost to Notre Dame, and then who did they beat? They beat Nebraska, and they beat some other cupcakes, and then they go out and kill Wisconsin, and then they're going to be ranked in the top 10. I truly think that both of these teams are overranked, but, man, Wisconsin did not play good. And Michigan truly played well, and I truly think Michigan will probably get into the top 10, as much as I wouldn't want to see it, since I really don't like Michigan. But I think that was a pretty good win for Michigan, and Wisconsin is truly overrated and out of the playoff discussion. I mean, how do you lose to BYU at home? I'm still in shock over that. BYU at home. Please explain. Please explain. I don't get it. I truly don't get it. Let's keep going. I think we got through most of the games. Virginia upset Miami, but I truly think Miami's also overrated. I mean, they were ranked, 8 to start the season? We should never talk about Bama until they lose. I'm going to talk about Bama a little bit, because I kind of want to see. Alright, you know what? We're going to talk about Bama now. I don't know how accurate this is. Tell me in the chat if you heard this. I heard that Tua Tagovailoa broke his knee. That's I think the word on the street. Tennessee's win will be all over Fox News, NBC Nightly News, ABC, CNN News, Clinton News Network, and SportsCenter. LOL. Okay. Hey, Uncle Luke finally made the stream. What's up, my man? No, but did you guys hear anything about Tua Tagovailoa breaking his knee? Did you guys hear anything about that? Because I thought I heard he broke his knee. What have you guys heard? I actually need to know if you guys have heard anything about this. Because I thought I heard he broke his knee. So, Uncle Luke, you said you haven't heard anything about it? Okay. Alert, if this stream gets 10 likes, I will sing Rocky Top at the end of the stream. Saban says he's fine. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure, and even if he is hurt, they do have Jalen Hurts. But I'll tell you, Alabama, get ready for us next week. Nah, I'm kidding. No, okay. I need to tell you guys something. My stupid hat. My dad said if Tennessee beats Alabama, he will come to my school, go on the intercom, and sing Rocky Top. I mean, he even shook on it too. So now I swear, if Tennessee beats Alabama, I will honestly be the happiest person alive. I honestly will be the happiest person alive if they beat Alabama. If they beat Alabama, I will seriously run around and I will do anything. If they beat Alabama, I will truly be the happiest person alive. Hey, Uncle Luke, I'm sorry about North Carolina, man. Tough games like that happen. I will say this, though. Not to be mean or anything, but you guys aren't really a football school. But you do have basketball season to look forward to. But I'm sorry you guys had a tough game. I mean, everybody has tough games. Think of me crying when the Bears lost. Just think of that, man. Anyway, Bama blew out Missouri. But I'm telling you, please, Tennessee. Please, if Tennessee beats Alabama, I swear I will do anything in the world. Anything in the whole wide world. Oh my god. Yeah, Uncle Luke cried after the game today. Yeah, I cried after the Bears game, which you're supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Uncle Luke, stick to basketball, little buddy, says raping minors. Alright. So, now what I want to do is talk about the college football rankings. I want all of you in the stream to leave your top 10 in the chat. Leave what you think the top 10 should be. But let's go to the rankings real quick. Rankings, there we go. Okay. Alabama, pretty much, Alabama has to stay at 1, I think. Georgia will fall out of 2, which will cause Ohio State, Clemson, and Notre Dame to move up. So it will be Alabama number 1, Ohio State number 2, Clemson 3, Notre Dame 4. Hold on. You know what I'm gonna do? Do I have my board? I do have my board here. Hold on. I'm gonna do something. This is a board I use in most of my videos. I think we're gonna make a playoff watch board. What do you guys think? Do you think we should make a playoff watch board? I'm gonna make a playoff watch board. So, as we're doing this, I want you guys to leave your top 10 in the chat. Who do you guys think is going to be in the top 10? And why do you think that? Do you have any certain teams that you think will jump up a lot? Do you have any teams that you see falling a lot, like Georgia or West Virginia? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat as I make this playoff watch board. Yeah. Uncle Luke, sorry about the loss, man. I mean, every team I've suffered through tough losses. Just think about me with whenever you're feeling sad, just think about how I felt after the Bears game. Whenever you're feeling sad, just think about me after the Bears game. Honestly. Bama, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Clemson, Texas, UCF, Michigan, Oklahoma, Florida, Oregon. I think you have Oregon a little too high. I don't think I saw LSU in there. Yeah, you don't have LSU in the top 10, which I think I'll have a problem with. You have Notre Dame jumping ahead of Clemson, which I think I do like, but Florida I think's a little high for that. But yeah, we're almost done with this playoff watch board. Just gotta yeah. All right. So but what do you guys have any certain games you're looking forward to for next week? I haven't really looked at the next week's slate. Okay. So, how about this? While I am making the playoff watch board, let's do a quick little Q&A. You guys can ask any okay, hold on. John Hughes says Alabama 2, Alabama 1, Ohio State 2, Notre Dame 3, Clemson 4, LSU 5, Texas 6, Georgia 7, Michigan 8, UCF 9, Florida 10. I think I can agree with that. I can agree with that a lot, but let me make my board. How about what you guys can do is we'll do a quick little Q&A. You guys can ask any question you want in the chat. It can be sports related. It can have nothing related to sports. Anything you want in the chat, you can ask a question and I will answer it. College football playoff watch board. Okay, college football playoff playoff watch board. I think for you guys it might be backwards. I don't know, since I have the computer universe. LSU number 2 in the country. LSU should not be number 2 in the country. I'm sorry. Oregon is good, but not top 10. I don't know. We'll have to see. So, let's draw this. Okay. Hold on. SEC football 2 will beat Syracuse next, even though, yeah. I don't know. I think Syracuse might beat North Carolina. I'm not sure, though. Dungy's a pretty good quarterback. Okay, so this is the outline for the watch board. I'm pretty sure it's backwards for you guys. But, yeah. LSU can beat anybody in the country besides Alabama. Yeah, if they didn't have that tough loss to Florida, they'd be a lot higher. Okay, next what I think we'll do is we'll put the rest of the spots down through 10. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, let's do this. So, at number 1 in the country, I think it has to stay Alabama. I mean, they really haven't done anything wrong to put them out of that top spot. So I still have Alabama as the. I think this might be backwards for you guys. I'm sorry if it is, but I still have Alabama at the number 1 spot. At number 2, is it Ohio State or is it Notre Dame? Or is it Clemson? I think it's between those 3 teams, and I'm actually going to put a little bit of a surprise in this one. I personally think that Ohio State and Clemson both have really bad resumes, and I think with Michigan playing better, I'm going to have Notre Dame at the number 2 spot. I mean, they've proven that I think they're better than Ohio State and Clemson. I mean, I think they have a better resume than Ohio State and Clemson. I mean, they really, I think, have a better resume than these teams. So I'm actually going to put Notre Dame at. Yes, Ohio State does have a bad resume. Who have they beaten? Who has Ohio State beaten? Okay, SEC football too. We'll see you back in the stream. I mean, honestly, they really haven't beaten anybody good. I mean, besides Penn State, and Penn State proved they're not a contender this week after they lost to Michigan State. I mean, I do think Notre Dame hasn't played that many good teams. I mean, I can agree with the finisher on that one. But I think Notre Dame has a better resume than Ohio State and Clemson. I'm just saying. They won at Penn State, neutral site, and TCU. I'm still going to take Notre Dame at 2, and then I think I'm going to slide Ohio State down to 3. I mean, I'm sorry. I think Ohio State might be better in the long run than Notre Dame, but I think for the time being, I think that I'm going to have to put Notre Dame at 2 and Ohio State at 3. And number 4 is tough. I think it still has to be Clemson, even though they are undefeated, but I honestly think LSU has a better resume. I think Clemson, I think LSU and Texas both have better resumes. Honestly, but I'm going to put Clemson at 4. Okay, so for the top 4 teams, this is what it looks like. For my top 4 teams, I have Alabama versus Clemson, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. I think that's pretty good. I think Notre Dame has been better than Clemson and Ohio State. It's not by much, but I think it's just enough to get them into the 2 region. Okay, TGTV Tank Monk says, Bama, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Clemson. Yeah, I think Notre Dame and Ohio State can go interchangeably 2 and 3. I mean, I don't know why we're having this huge argument on it. No matter what, if this were the college football playoff, they'd still be playing each other. So now this is, I think, where it gets really interesting. 5 through 10 is honestly anybody. Because look at all their wins Notre Dame they've had close games with bad teams. So is Ohio State, though. I mean, they had a close game against Minnesota today, even though they kind of pulled away at the end. And Notre Dame was close at the half, so I think Notre Dame has a little bit of a better resume. Notre Dame beat Ball State by 8, Vandy by 5, Pitt by 5. Are you joking? I'm actually not joking, because I mean, they played really well against Michigan, who has proven that they're a really good team, and they played really well. Okay. Now let's go down. At number 5, I think I'm going to have to put LSU. I think, hey, Cole Adams in the stream, Tennessee with that big W. But I think at number 5, I'm going to have to put LSU. I mean, they jumped down a lot, but I mean, think about it. With this big win, I truly think if they play, I think they can truly play that well. So I know this is backwards, but I have LSU at 5 on this playoff watchbird. Yeah, Auburn is terrible. Cole Adams, downfall of Auburn football coming? Just wondering. LSU's beaten 3 top 10 teams. Yeah, you're right. And I think that's definitely worthy of a number 5 spot. And coming in at number 6, I have Texas. And I think this is the best case scenario that Texas could have had. Honestly, though, they had 4 teams ahead of them lose, and they could jump all the way up to number 5. But I think LSU is a little better than Texas resume-wise, since they've beaten some good teams. So, if Alabama beats LSU, best team in the country, yeah. But I think I'm gonna have to take LSU over Texas. It was close. But yeah, okay. I gotta watch Uncle Luke's rage after this video, but I will sure make sure to do that. But I think I'm gonna put Texas below LSU by 1 spot. You say Texas doesn't? Yeah, Maryland is a good team. I think Florida is a better team than Maryland. I think LSU had the better loss, and LSU has some better wins. So I'm gonna put LSU ahead of Texas. By the way, who wins, USC or Colorado? I think Colorado's going to win that game. I picked them. Okay. So far, Alabama number 1, Notre Dame number 2, Ohio State number 3, Clemson 4, LSU 5, Texas 6. Coming in at number 7. This is tough. This is actually very tough. But I think coming in at number 7, a team that I think you can't punish too much. At number 7, I'm going to put Georgia. I think you can't punish them too much for losing to a really good LSU team. RGIA. I don't think you could punish Georgia that much because they did lose to a very good team. And so I'm going to put them at 7 on this. I don't know. I feel like LSU is a legit team, and I feel like you can't really punish Georgia for that. It was a tough loss, but I feel like they shouldn't be punished too much. They still have a very good chance in the SEC. I'm going to put the Dogs at 7. Now, I think I'm going to need some help from the ranking. Show me the college football rankings.
These are the rankings for college football from the current season, published last Sunday.
Thanks, Siri. Okay. Now let's see who could be coming up and who could be coming down. Okay. I have Georgia at 6, honestly, and LSU moved to 8 spots. I feel like LSU, when you beat the number 2 team in the nation by 20, I think you deserve to move up a lot. I think LSU should be ahead of Georgia because I think what the committee doesn't look at is head-to-head matchups. I think they need to look at the head-to-head matchups more often. So, I have LSU 5, Texas 6, Georgia 7. Is Oklahoma still alive? Oklahoma is most definitely still alive. They only have 1 loss, and it was to Texas. They still have a chance for the college football playoff. And I think Oklahoma will be my next team. I have Oklahoma at 8. Oklahoma is still a legit team. I mean, they really have looked like a good team. They only lost to Texas by 3. That's not really. It is not the best loss in the world, but it isn't really a horrible loss that I think sets them out of the football playoff. Oklahoma is still very much alive. Kyler Murray is a legit. What'd you think of my reaction? That was the best 8 seconds on YouTube. I'm gonna put Oklahoma at 8. Number 9. Who do we have here? We still haven't put UCF in. We haven't put Michigan in. Florida's still available. Of those teams, who is the best? I would not want to be on the college football playoff committee this week. This would be tough for me. But truly, who do I think has this thing? I mean, this is really anybody's spot. But the team that I think I'm going to give it to, I don't want to move Michigan up that much. I really don't know. I mean, does a team like Florida come up there? Does Michigan come up? I mean, I don't really know. All right. So man of the egg. All right. Uncle Luke, by the way, I can't wait to watch your live reaction. I mean, your rage video. I mean, I'll watch that as soon as the stream's done. Oh, God. Okay, I think I've made up my mind. Okay, where is... Alright, the top 10 is done. I just filled in 9 and 10. And I'll tell you who I have. Coming in at number 1, I have Alabama. I mean, they really haven't done anything to really, I think, bring them out of the number 1 spot. They've been running through the competition in the SEC. Alabama, I have at number 1. Now, a lot of people got mad at me earlier. Uh-oh. Okay. If this was an actual college football playoff scenario, I mean, they would still play. It would just be they would still play each other. So Notre Dame and Ohio State can be interchangeable. I think Notre Dame has the better resume to this point. I'm going to pick Notre Dame at 2, Ohio State at 3. As much as I don't like them, and as much as I think they're overrated, I'm going to put Clemson at 4, just because they're undefeated, and I think that they haven't done anything. They've had struggle wins against Texas A&M and Syracuse, and I really think that truly they're going to lose a game, and I think they're going to drop a lot down. And I think a lot of these teams, like LSU, Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, I truly think all of those teams are better than them. But I don't think you can bring them down. I have Clemson at 4. So if this were the college football playoff, we would have a rematch of 1 versus 4 and have Alabama and Clemson, and then have Notre Dame and Ohio State. Alabama and Clemson, and then have Notre Dame and Ohio State. Which truly would be 2 good matchups in my opinion, except I think Alabama would run through Clemson. But this is looking to be a good playoff. Now, 5 through 10 is where it gets interesting. At 5, I have LSU. I think if you beat a top 10 team, in the country, by 20, you deserve to go up as much as you can. I think the highest you can put LSU up is 5. I don't see them getting past Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson, because those are the 4 undefeated teams we're looking at. I think if you have 1 loss, you shouldn't be ahead of an undefeated team, but I think LSU can jump up enough to 5. And at 6, I have Texas. I think Texas is a legit contender. I think they are back, because the whole thing is Texas back? And I know it's either, are they back to playoff contention, or are they back to the Texas Bowl? I think they're back to contention. I think this could have been the best scenario they got, seeing that 4 teams ahead of them lost. I'm going to have them at 6. At 7, I have Georgia, because I think you can't drop them too much for losing a tough game. It was a hard-fought game, even though it didn't look like that on the scoreboard. I'm going to have Georgia at 7. Oklahoma, I have at 8. I mean, people are already counting out Oklahoma, and I don't think you can. They're still a very good team. They almost beat Texas. They only lost by 3. And I think they're still a legit contender. And I truly think that you can't not bring them up. I think they make that jump back into the top 10. I have Oklahoma at 8. And now the ones that you haven't seen yet are 9 and 10. Let's take a look at the board. Who do you think wins, Texas A&M or Mississippi State? Ooh, that's actually going to be a tough game. Just to make you happy, I'll say Texas A&M. I think they're better than Mississippi State. Yeah, I'll go with the Aggies. All right. I have Michigan at 10, Florida at 9 to round out the top 10. I think both of those teams had good wins today to bring them up. And I think with the other teams losing, I have Michigan at 10, Florida at 9. I'm going to use this playoff board for later in my college football picks. I really think that this is going to help us keep track with everything that goes on. But let me know what Taxi Cuber's in the stream. Let me know what you guys think of this. UCF goes down. Yeah, I'm not too high on UCF. I think UCF will probably be 11. I think with all these good teams coming up, with the top teams losing, I think there's so many good teams coming up. That's why I think UCF will go down. SDC Football Tube says South Carolina or Tennessee. Probably South Carolina, to be honest. I mean, I hope the Tennessee win's not a fluke. Please prove to me it's not a fluke, Tennessee. But now what I think we'll go on to, and that'll wrap up this segment, is a Week 8 preview. This won't be considered my Week 8 picks, but we will preview Week 8, because I'm actually pretty excited. So, hold on. Google, where you at? There you are. College football top 25 games. Week 8. Alright, we'll preview each of these games. Okay. Okay, my goodness. Try to find the Week 8 schedule. Shout out to all of you guys who have lasted through this 52-minute stream we're at now. Alright, Week 8. We'll look at some of this. I think UCF is undefeated at the end of the season. I don't know about that. Let's see. Those games are unimportant. Michigan and Michigan State, both of which picked up good wins. As a Michigan State kind of fan, I really hope they can get a big win against Michigan. It is at Michigan State. But I think Michigan's the better team. But I feel like Michigan State's kind of owned them in the past with the muffed punt and whatnot. But I think Michigan should be able to come out with a win and get past Michigan State. But I don't know. I am going to be obviously going for MSU. But I think Michigan has no more room for error. I think they can't lose another game. I think if they lose another game, they're essentially out of the college football playoff conversation. I think the only way they can get into the college football playoffs is if they win out and win the Big Ten, which might be a stretch. And I think MSU is a tough team to beat at home. I think that they will put up a very good fight. And I really, truly think that Michigan State will have a very good chance to win. But with all that being said, I think Michigan is the more talented team. I think they'll end up winning. Let's see. For you SEC fans out there, Auburn, Ole Miss. I actually think Ole Miss can win that one. Oklahoma, TCU. TCU's kind of fallen off after losing to Ohio State and Texas. They lost another game. Oklahoma will probably win that game. I'm getting all these little games like Buffalo and Toledo. For Uncle Luke, we'll preview North Carolina, Syracuse. So, TGTV Tank Mode, I haven't seen you asking questions. Yeah, it looks like you're going for MSU. Dude, to be honest, Washington versus Oregon game was good. Yeah. I think Oregon will jump up to 12 or 13. Nebraska wins Big Ten. I'm calling it. I'm sure they're winning the Big Ten. But I'm sorry, North Carolina hasn't really played good. I don't see them making a bowl game. I'm sorry, Uncle Luke. Was Washington and Oregon the game of the week? Maybe. I think since it went to OT, probably. It was a very fun game to watch. I was able to catch the end of it. But we'll go with, yeah. Sorry, Uncle Luke, but I don't see North Carolina getting a win on the road at Syracuse. I'm sorry, I don't see it happening. Savannah the Egg Eagle at SEC Football 2. Thanks for being so sweet and kind in the comment section. You both have a kind heart. You are the best couple. You both have a common thing. Yeah. Shout out to SEC Football Tube and Savannah the Egg Girl. Good people. To be honest, watching the whole game, teams are so even. Yeah. All right. Again, the UCF game was a nail biter. Yeah, they almost lost to Memphis, and that's why I don't think they're as good of a team as people think. I think UCF will lose to. I think they will lose to USF. I think South Florida will beat them. Let's see what other important games. There actually aren't that many important. Clemson and NC State. I honestly think NC State can win this game. I think Clemson will overlook them. I think, I seriously think that they can honestly win. I mean, Clemson has not looked good. They really haven't looked good. I seriously think that NC State can win this game. If I had to pick an upset, it would be NC State. It honestly would be NC State. And NC State actually hasn't lost yet, so maybe we should be giving them more respect. 2 undefeated ACC teams. It'll probably be one of the most important games. If I was a betting man, I would be careful about NC State. I'm telling you. They're a good team. They're a pretty good team that like no one's talking about. Oh God. Oh no. Tennessee plays Alabama. Chat on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being they're definitely going to win. 1 being they're going to get blown out by 50 points. What is Tennessee's chance to win this game? Tennessee, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst chance to win against Alabama at Neyland Stadium. So they are at home. What do you guys give Tennessee's chance against Alabama? I'm curious. I'm very curious. Negative 8,000, says Joe Burrow, Dog Sports. Oh my God, yeah. If they win, I will be the happiest man alive, honestly. I mean, we've proven that we can do it against Auburn. We just gotta do it against some other teams. Big Pac-12 matchup, Colorado and Washington. Remember what you said about North Texas? Oh yeah, how is North Texas doing? I forgot I said that about North Texas. I'm dumb. NC State Wolftards. They have 1 L. NC State Wolftards. Anyway, but Colorado, Washington. I don't know how Colorado's doing against USC. Hold on. Colorado versus USC score.
Here's what I found.
USC, you idiot. Colorado versus USC score.
Which USA?
Not USA.
Or USA national team.
USC versus Colorado.
The USC Colorado.
Oh wow! All that to find out it was 0-0. Okay. But I think if Colorado wins, they might be the next team to win the Pac-12 besides Oregon. And I think they'll have a very good chance to do that against Washington, honestly. This stream is at 58 minutes and 51 seconds. Good grief. Any other notable games? Ooh, LSU plays Mississippi State. I think that Mississippi State will give LSU a good game, but I truly think LSU is the better team. And I'm going to pick LSU in that game. Any other important games? Or to please TGTV Tank Mode, Oregon goes on the road to play WASU. Can you please play the Oregon Ducks fight song? Sure. Oregon Ducks fight song. All right, so, but yeah, this has been a great week in college football, guys. Any final thoughts in the chat that you would like to say? Any final questions you have for me? Any final statements you would like to make? Anything to wrap this stream up? Because we're over an hour here and I need to get some sleep. But what do you guys think is the biggest takeaway from this week? Any questions or anything that you have to end this off right? TGTV Tank Mode says he has a good one, so this better be good. If it's not, I'm going to be very disappointed. UCF goes if UCF goes 12-0 again, should they be in the playoff? If, he says. No. And it's a reluctant no. I think you have to be in a very good conference and play very good teams to get into the playoff. I mean, I don't think they're better than LSU. I don't think they're better than Texas. I don't think they're better than Georgia. I don't see LSU making the playoff as much as I think they may have the talent, I don't think the committee will see them as a legit contender, and I don't see a non-Power 5 team making the playoff anytime soon. However, UCF might be the closest team to do that. Alright, guys, we're at an hour and 2 minutes. Watch them play your favorite team and beat them bad. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. In a bowl game, yeah. They beat Auburn, but I truly don't think that Auburn team was as good as advertised that year. Alright, that will end this stream. Thanks to every single one of you who has stuck through this hour-long stream. I have an Uncle Luke Rage video to watch. And yeah, guys, I will see you next time on Quincy Bell Sports. Everybody have an amazing night.